know it's long distance, Fraser, but I'm giving you authorization. Should anything of an urgent nature arise, and I do mean urgent, as in fire, flood, famine, act of God, these are my numbers. My cell number and pager number, my room at the spa, the front desk at the spa, the therapy rooms, the mud rooms, and, you won't be needing this number. Clear?
Yes, sir. Canadian Consulate, Acting Liaison Officer Constable Benton Fraser speaking.
She gone yet?
No, sir. Canada is a nation bordered by the United States to the south, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans to the east and the west, and the Arctic Ocean to the north, comprising of roughly 10 million square kilometers.
So the Ice Queen is still there?
Yes, sir. It can be a cold climate.
Who is it?
Fraser, I'm in a hurry.
It's a man in a hurry.
Your limo, sir.
My limo.
Fraser, you there?
Have a safe trip, sir.
Listen, Fraser, something came up. I gotta meet a guy. So I won't be dropping by tonight.
Fuck you!
Gotta go. Volpe!
So? You won't be wearing a wire, would you?
Me?
So you don't mind if I have a look?
Man with style is a man who can smile. Ooh. Do you the same favor?
I'm a criminal. What would I be doing wearing a wire?
Posterity?
Satisfied?
I'm never satisfied. What do you want?
What do I want? You called me.
I didn't call you. You called me.
Don't move!
It's okay.
I said don't move!
Take it easy. I'm a cop.
I said freeze!
Okay, good.
Stop! Or I'll shoot!
Good sequence. Guy's a psycho. He's been running his own little operation on the south side for a year or so. Drugs, guns, prostitution. Your basic American dream. Ow!
Sorry.
What is that?
It'll prevent infection. You were discussing Mr. Volpe?
It smells. Word is he's getting ambitious lately, so naturally I'm anxious for a face-to-face. I get there and it's a setup.
You think somebody hit you?
Stuff smells. I don't remember. I wake up, Volpe's dead, and I got this uniform blasting away like Yosemite Sam. Bang, 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 I take off.
And you have no idea what happened to Mr. Volpe?
Stuff really stinks. Somebody shot him. Could have been anybody. Could have been me.
I see.
What is this?
It's a concoction I made from the mucous membrane of a pregnant... It's not important. What is important, if I may recap, is that you were lured to a meeting with a gangland figure. At this meeting, the gangland figure was murdered, an event of which you have no memory. A uniformed officer arrived, you resisted arrest, and you then fled the scene of the homicide. Do you agree these are the facts of the scenario?
Did I just say that, or do I have a head injury?
Well, Ray, I'm afraid that I have no option. By the powers that are vested in me and the government of Canada, I am placing you under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you without charge. Do you understand these rights?
Don't let his exterior fool you. Cahill is a real pit bull. All the guys were out playing baseball. He was breaking kneecaps on the picket line. He's tough, he's a son of a bitch, and he's running for state's attorney. If he wins, gentlemen, you do not want to be on his bad side because he will break our chops for eternity. You just go in, hear him out, and then do our job. Got it?
Harding! Hey! How's your belly with the pig bit you?
Sore, Damon, sore.
Huey, good to see you again.
Thanks.
Hey, didn't you have a beard or something?
No, sir.
You look different.
You're thinking of Lewis, sir. My previous one.
Oh, yeah. What, he retired?
No, sir. He
was blown up in the car, sir. The name's Dewey. Nice to meet you.
Ah.
You know you look bigger in your posters?
No, it's not the size of the Army kid, it's the fury of its onslaught. We done? Huh? Done with the laughs? Let's move on. The Volpe shooting, what's the status?
We're investigating,
Was
sir.
he registered as a confidential informant?
No.
What was the purpose of the meeting between Volpe and Vecchio?
I wasn't privy to that content.
Were you even aware that Volpe was going to take a meet with Vecchio? So this meet was unauthorized. Tell me, is that the way you normally conduct the affairs in this station?
What kind of question is that, Damon?
It's not a question, Lieutenant Welsh. It's a statement. And speaking as candidate for office of state's attorney, I will not have members of the Chicago PD cozying up to organized crime. Speaking as an officer of the courts, I will not have members of the Chicago PD blowing them away in back alleys. Pick Vecchio up.
You escort Mr. Cahill out, Dewey.
Oh, Dewey, tell Huey I'm sorry about Louis.
Mr. Cahill.
Ah, Miss Byron.
Mr. Cahill, as a candidate for state's attorney, what's your response to today's shooting?
Well, Miss Byron, as you know, I've spent the past year heading up the mayor's task force in the fight against organized crime. And the battle has only reinforced in me the deep conviction that no one is above the law. Not you, not me, nobody. Especially not the police.
Guy's campaign is dying. Needs an issue, so I'm the issue.
Well, only temporarily. As soon as we can arrange for a blowback test to prove that you haven't fired a gun recently.
Won't work. Small arms certification. I was on the range this morning. I'm covered in blowback.
Huh. Well, perhaps I'll take this opportunity to urinate.
I wouldn't go in there, sir.
Well, I have to.
I wouldn't go in there.
Turnbull, I have lived among the muskox. There's very little that I
It won't flush, sir.
Huh. Is it the standard military modified field unit?
Correct. A 17-centimeter stem on a 9-liter displacement.
17 centimeter stem on a 9-liter displacement, not available locally.
We could have one flown in from Prince Rupert, sir.
That's the ticket. Good thinking, Constable.
Thank you.
Hey, are you guys sort of like the British? I mean, what's up with the toilet? The reason I ask is once we had this guy over from Scotland Yard, and every day he would drive back to the hotel just to use the can.
I see nothing wrong with that, do you, sir?
No.
Okay, Fraser, don't give me a hard time. I have a warrant for his arrest.
I'm afraid that Ray is already under arrest.
By who?
By whom?
By whom?
By me.
Fraser, you're a Mountie. You can't arrest anybody unless you're in Canada.
I am in Canada.
No. See, this is Chicago.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? But you'd be wrong.
Are we in the Twilight Zone?
You see, under the terms of the Vienna Convention, 1964, this consulate and the grounds upon which it sits is Canadian territory. Turnbull? So technically, you see, Ray is in Canada. Now, if you wish to arrest him, I'm afraid you will have to extradite him. These are the necessary forms to be completed in triplicate and filed with the American Embassy in Ottawa.
We are in the twilight zone.
Fraser, you can't do this.
Actually, he can. Regina versus Montbarquette, 1967. A confidence trickster was extradited to Alberta to face charges that he bilked pensioners in a phony mattress scheme. Also, in 1984, Regina versus Horowitz, a man with a very large...
Thank you, Turnbull.
Sir.
Gentlemen.
Can we use your bathroom?
Oh, certainly. No. Impossible.
Hey, they really gotta extradite me?
That's right.
Wow, go figure. Where are you going?
The scene of the crime.
Good plan. You do that, I'll get my files.
Well, I'm sure the police have already picked up your files, Ray.
Yeah, they gotten my files, but they wouldn't have gotten my files. I keep my secret stuff in a hollowed-out book. Let's get into it.
Oh, no. You don't seem to understand, Ray. You can't leave the consulate.
Why?
Detectives Huey and Dewey are undoubtedly stationed outside, waiting to arrest you the moment you step from this building. As long as you remain here, you're safe.
Diefenbaker, let's go.
See, Mr. Vecchio?
Safe?
Welcome to Canada, Ray.
Since you're a newcomer to our nation, I figured an orientation might be of some help, as well as some good fun. Are you familiar with a sport known as curling?
No.
Stay here. Good boy.
What have you found?
Yep. Gunpowder. The gunman fired from here after waiting for his victims to arrive. And he was a heavy smoker. Some sort of salve. What do you think?
This all Vecchio stuff?
Yeah, and I want a receipt for all of it.
Don't worry about it.
I always worry when Internal Affairs starts messing with my detectives.
If I need anything else, I'll call you. Oh, and I'll need a copy of any phone message he gets. Every message.
Hey, I don't have enough people here to take messages for the people who work here. You want Vecchio's message, you work dispatch.
I'm right here.
You smell great.
That would be the neat's foot oil.
You wear neat's foot oil?
On my Sam Brown. My belt.
Oh.
Ah. Sergeant Kilray. Just the man I was looking for.
You looking for me in a closet?
Well, no, I'm in the closet for an altogether different reason.
I wish.
Who the hell are you?
Constable Benton Fraser, RCMP. And I certainly don't mean to step on any jurisdictional toes, but Ray Vecchio did not shoot Mr. Volpe.
Maybe he didn't, maybe he didn't. Who cares?
I do.
Listen to me. Ray Vecchio's a smartass. Brings the heat down on all decent cops. Cahill wants Vecchio, I'm gonna give him Vecchio. And you're gonna give me that book.
Oh, dear.
The Canadian team has one in the 4 foot and is going to play the guard.
Anything that moves that slowly is not a sport.
You recall back to the 95 Bondsfield.
This is not a sport. It's housework.
It is a calling.
It may be a pastime. It may even be a hobby, but it is definitely not a sport.
Do you want to fight?
Over curling?
Yes. What if I made fun of baseball?
They're going to set up the rock.
All right.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, you're empty-handed.
But I am not empty-trousered.
Ain't it that fast? So that means he's going a bit too strong. He's actually taking weight off the rock. That shot went a little further than they wanted. They knocked their own stone at the 8th foot out of position.
That's okay. We're okay.
Yes.
Canada has last rock. They need to score at least 1 point here
Yes.
to give them a chance to take
Sir, sir.
All right. Looks like they're going to...
Sweet!
Nice shot!
Oh, I love this game.
That, Eddie Herndorf. Old-style gangster. Guy's ruthless. Once he cut the muscles out of a guy's leg with a sword, because he cut him off in traffic. That, Gus Fillion. Eddie's main competitor. Sees himself as a Renaissance sort of guy. These two used to duke it out, but they've been getting along lately. Getting along until Andreas Volpe, glue-huffing psychopath, local kid, big ambitions.
So it's your theory, if I may recap, that Volpe challenged their authority and was killed as a result?
Yeah. See, that's why we're policemen, Fraser. We get to figure these kind of things out.
Right you are, Ray. Right you are. I think it's time that I paid Mr. Fillion a visit.
Look, no offense, Fraser, but these are Chicago hard guys. I mean, you can be as polite as you want, but they could have you hanging from a meat hook in 13 seconds.
Well, I'm not without my resources, Ray.
Sir, your presence.
Ah.
Your presence? What are you, like a king or something?
To Turnbull? Yes. Ah, Lieutenant Welsh, nice to see you. Welcome to Canada, sir.
Fraser, this is Assistant State's Attorney Cahill.
Honor, sir. I've seen your posters all over town.
Constable, I come straight to the point. I'd like you to surrender Detective Vecchio to me.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that, sir. The extradition treaty between our two countries is very specific.
We want to question Vecchio in connection with more than particularly vicious homicide. I've suspected for some time that organized crime has an informant somewhere inside the police department in this city.
Sir, I don't think we have to bother Constable Fraser with that.
I want this man to understand what he's interfering with.
I think I can put your mind to rest on that point, sir. Ray had nothing to do with this murder, and I can personally vouch for his integrity.
I'm supposed to take your word on that?
Yes, sir.
You see, sir, Constable Fraser doesn't lie.
Oh, well, that's an admirable quality in times of peace, but we're in the middle of a war against crime and corruption, and I demand your cooperation. The city of Chicago demands your cooperation.
And you shall have it, sir, to the full extent of the law.
Are you mocking me? Are you mocking this city, this administration?
Certainly not, sir. No. We greatly appreciate the generosity shown to us by the people of Chicago, and I assure you, should you ever find yourself in Nunavut, you will not be wanting for a meal.
Come here. You know this Marcus of Queensberry thing and your grammar and all. It's very quaint. But I just want to remind you that we took Grenada, we beat the snot out of Haiti, we knocked Panama on its ass, and if needs be, we can take this little piss pot too. Have a nice evening.
Oh, dear. Ah. 个亿，全部都要填。
Close the door, son. Anyone would think you were born in a barn.
I was.
Oh, that's true enough.
You always told me that the most important thing a man can do is his duty, and I'm about to embark on a somewhat devious course of action, and I'm not entirely sure where my duty actually lies.
1961.
All right.
I was ordered to help 32 Inuit families relocate 500 miles further north on Ellesmere Island. We had some dispute with the Russians, and this was long before the Canada Cup. We wanted to demonstrate our sovereignty over the far north. Now, I'd been up to Ellesmere, and I knew that life up there would be hard, if not impossible. I said as much to my superiors, but they were adamant, and I had my orders.
So what did you do?
Only thing I could do. I went up to Ellesmere, and I marked out 32 plots of land. I threw up a flag, opened up a post office. Tom Goforth, a young man from one of the families, lived up there all alone for the first year. Receiving all of these relocation checks, he forwarded them back to the families, who used the money to hire a lawyer who won their case against their relocation in court.
So you created a fictitious town?
Ellesmere was listed in McLean's that year as having the lowest crime rate in North America. Your heart is where your duty lies, son. Your head is just along to help with the driving.
Tom Goforth, what happened to him?
Tom, I believe, moved to Winnipeg and went to work in a record store. That's not relevant to this situation.
No.
Is that really a wolf?
You could bring down a caribou.
Just the weak ones. It's known as calling the herd.
Culling.
What?
Culling the herd, not calling the herd.
Well, what did I say?
You said, forget it.
I'd like to speak to a Mr. Fillion, if I could.
Hey, boss.
Is that a wolf?
Half wolf, actually.
Is that legit?
Yes. My name is Constable Benton Fraser, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I first came to Chicago on the trail of the killers of my father, and for reasons that don't need exploring at this juncture, I've remained attached as liaison with the Canadian Consulate.
Come here. I painted all these. I love dogs. Not candy-ass drop-kick dogs, you understand? I mean, real dogs.
A very deft touch. It's amazingly lifelike.
Yeah. There's something to do. Better than clowns. Hate clowns. It's an experience with a clown. Won't do 'em.
It's understandable.
So you're the one that's got Vecchio stashed away, huh?
He is suspected of shooting a man named Andreas Volpe.
So give him a medal.
He's innocent of the charge.
So you think I did it?
I form no opinion, sir. I'm merely gathering information.